Was there like a moment where it kind of like hit you like, oh, COVID's gonna be a big deal?
There was, what's funny is that one of the last major sporting events in the U.S. was the men's basketball tournament game against Appalachian State. There was 6,000 people there, and we were all very hyped for it. And then it was the next day where like all the dominoes started falling. It was during that game, in fact, when my producer, Lucas Haskins, told me, hey, breaking news, Rudy Gobert has been diagnosed with the coronavirus. And then 5 minutes later, the NBA has elected to suspend its season. And we're sitting there in the middle of this broadcast, thinking like, what does this mean for the short term for sports moving forward? And the Bobcats won that game. They beat App State. They were going to play New Orleans, and their first game there was going to be, I think, a day later. And then all the major conferences were canceling the tournaments. The Sun Belt made their decision, I think like hours before the men's basketball team was supposed to fly out to New Orleans. And so it was that the day after, March the 12th, when things got really real, really quick. And the following week, more dominoes start falling. And so I'd say it was right around, the middle of March where, things really started to sink in.
What, like, are you doing to adjust your job now? Like, I've seen you do a few, like, Twitter videos and stuff. Like, just what route are you taking now without live sports?
So, yes, I mean, like, with Texas State, we've been trying to come up with a lot of different social media ideas. I have put out the at-home play-by-play videos on Twitter. We put together a top athlete bracket at Texas State. Nobody had March Madness this year, so we came up with our own version. We're working on some other features. I recently helped produce an Inside the Numbers. It's on track and field. We have one on softball. We're working on a piece on Brian London right now. We're also actually working on a feature chronicling a very important football game for this university 15 years ago. So we're trying to do everything we can to fill the content. It's funny, when we hit the summer, that's typically when our downtime begins, and that timeline got moved up 3 months. And that's the best case scenario now. The best case scenario is that we do pick things back up in the fall. Mm-hmm. We don't know if that's going to happen. So there's a lot of the unknown right now, which is a little worrisome. It's going to challenge us all to come up with, I can only do so many of those at-home Twitter videos, right? So if this does extend, into the fall, into the spring of 21, then we're all going to be very challenged to, keep things interesting.
What kind of like just creative ways have you been like filling your time? It could be like your job related or not. Like. Mm-hmm.
So, so obviously I've touched upon the things with my job, and trying to come up with different features and ideas and producing as many things as we can to keep the fans engaged. On a personal level, I have a family. I have a wife and a daughter, and she's 8. She's in the 3rd grade, and school has, the resumption of it keeps getting postponed. I'd be very surprised if they're going to finish out the year. And so as a parent, been having to help my daughter going to school from home. Her school district has started an at-home learning program, and trying to keep her engaged in that while also doing my own job, my wife doing hers. It's challenging on all of us. One of the silver linings for all this is that it has created an opportunity for more family time. For somebody like me working in sports, the games are at night, so you're not home a lot of evenings. When I was doing a lot more radio than television, I was traveling a lot, so I wasn't home. So I've been able to spend a lot more time with them, which has been great.